What's going on, though, in chapter 11? We have these two witnesses. The outer court, for 42 months, the Gentiles are trampling outside the temple. The Antichrist comes and puts an image of himself in the temple. We're going to see it in chapter 13. Who are the two witnesses? A lot of different views. Elijah called down fire and shut the heavens. Moses turned water into blood and smote the earth with plagues. They're killed by the beast. Who are the two witnesses? The Bible doesn't identify them. So who are the two witnesses? The Bible doesn't identify them. They are like Moses and Elijah. But probably there are only two people that haven't died yet, that should have died. Enoch and Elijah. It says in the Bible, in chapter 9 of Hebrews, it's appointed unto man once to die. Everyone has an appointment with death. Even Jesus Christ died and was resurrected. Now, he died a substitutionary death, but there are two humans that have never died. And those two humans are Enoch from the pre-flood world and Elijah, the chief of the prophets of the Old Testament. So it's a lot of commentaries believe that it's Elijah and Enoch. The beast from the abyss kills them. The earth dwellers celebrate, and I talked to you about that. They watch it on their televisions and phones for 3.5 days, and then God resurrects them. Where does all this come from? How do we know this chronology? Because of Daniel. Now, you're going to study probably the book of Daniel, but Revelation is connected to Daniel in an amazing way. In fact, when Jesus teaches Matthew 24, he cites Daniel. He says, don't you know, Daniel said all this. What did Daniel say? In chapter 24, there's a map. It says 70 weeks are determined for your people. By the time we get to verse 27, it says, he, the Antichrist, confirms the covenant for 1 week. That's for 7 years. Daniel, his writings correspond exactly with Ezekiel. Remember, Ezekiel was he was a priest that was sent off to Babylon. So he's in Babylon, Daniel's in Babylon. Daniel's writing this framework. Ezekiel is writing about the invasion, the coming invasion in the end of days that you can read about in Ezekiel 38. The Lord sees a future temple in Jerusalem. And that's why, if you go over there, there's a group of Jews called the Temple Mount Faithful, and they're not Messianic, they're just Jews, but every year they have this great big block. It's the cornerstone of the new temple. And every year they drag it from their warehouse, and they blow trumpets, and they go toward the Dome of the Rock, and the Jewish police have to stop them, and all the Arabs riot, and they shoot, tear gas. The Jews want to build a temple because they know that as the scripture, in fact, John weaves together the longest Old Testament prophecies about Israel's future in Ezekiel and says that temple is going to be there. Well, why? Why is Israel so important? Because God has staked his name on Israel. That's why the devil wants to destroy. That's why the devil's having Iran threaten Israel. Satan knows that God says there's going to be a Jewish people, and there's going to be 144,000 witnesses, and there's going to be a temple, and the Jews are going to be there in Jerusalem, and the second coming of Christ is Jesus rescuing the Jews. Israel. That's the second coming. The second coming's not for us. The second coming's for them. We come in the second coming. Do you know what the first prophecy in the Bible is? It's from Enoch, the one we just talked about. Enoch said, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment on all the ungodly for all the ungodly deeds in ungodliness they have committed. That's in the book of Jude. That's the first prophecy. Enoch prophesied that Jesus would come with his saints, not with. He's coming to rescue Israel with us. So God stakes his name on Israel. It says in Isaiah 5 and verse 15, the same thing in Jeremiah 31, 1 and 2. God has made a sovereign, unbreakable covenant with Israel.